Hey everybody, welcome. Thanks for showing up. I really appreciate all of you. I was kind of looking when I was throwing the link to the stream out there at who's here. It's the usual early birds and those that are supportive and consistent, of course. There's Mike's. Hey Mike, Laura Sutton, BJ Palmer, Mary Page Flynn, always. Merdule, always. Let's see. Conversation. There's where I throw out the link. Olivia F171. And I bet that's Olivia Farrell because we've got a hashtag mash it up. So we may have a raid going on. Yeah, there's Sandy Farrell. Hashtag match it up. Thank you guys. Petrolman. Hashtag Sketchers. I'll have to go back and watch the end. I was lurking like the first 15 minutes and had to come out of Brienne's stream. Brienne's Fish Fam. Hash it up. Oh, hash it up. Okay. Muppet. I think I said hi. And there's Pam Putchy Paints. Hey Pam, welcome. Maria Z may or may not be here. She's trying for one reason because she's had to be out due to family issues, death in the family, and husband having a stroke and that kind of stuff. A time or two, but she's at her mom's today, planting some flowers for her, and her mom's been kind of neglected, of course, by Maria and her husband Dan not being as available to her while all this is going on. So she's trying to spend some time with her. And she's messaged me a couple of times, and I told her, really, don't worry about it. We got this. And so she may pop in or she may not. She's very reliable and very consistent. So if not, we know where she's at. Jeffrey Watts. Pam, I've been talking to somebody, Pam, about taking either the Friday night or the Saturday night stream time, and people often do that, and I try to just don't give advice, but not some ask direct questions, but looking at maybe Anthony's time or Priscilla's time. You know, Priscilla said that they were both going to stop streaming. I'm not sure they have both entirely. I know Anthony had, and I saw him either last Friday or the week before for a short stream. But anyway, so you may have somebody following you on Saturday. That's the tentative plan until Anthony's ready to give up his time, if he does still want to give it up. Neither one of them have told me directly to unschedule them on there. So. And the person really wanted Friday or Saturday late. So you may have somebody to send people to here soon. We'll see. Brian, BTW Aquatics, welcome. Scott's Aquatics, welcome. Scott was asking for advice on his new logo that right out of my head. Foxy, one of my favorites. Did for him, and I didn't see any difference in them at first, but there's a line around one of them. You know, I claim senility, but I thought he was asking for opinion on two different ones, like what the composites were in them and all that. And so I saw them as the same one. Hey, Ames. And so I said that I thought maybe it was too busy. It's a real nice logo, but that wasn't what I was asked. So I probably should take that off there. It was just an opinion, but not an opinion that was asked for. So anyway, it's a great logo. It's got rainbow fish and corridoras and plicos and a couple other things. Melvin, howdy. Let's see what else. I'm trying not to do this, and so I have to actually puzzle out each word sometimes. Hey, Brian, Peplin's Creek. The other Brian I was speaking to is BTW. It might be a little confusing, but if you know it's BTW, then you know. Both Brians, I should say. I'm sitting here at the dining room table, what's left of it, and looking at these beautiful, beautiful longfin and shortfin, carrion longfin Gene super red plecos that Maria sent me about a week ago. And I've got 5 of them in this tank with the guppy antler things that I like, and I'm raising up here. And then I've got the largest one, a female longfin, in with my shortfin. Carries the Gene for longfin tank to see if they'll pair up. She's not quite ready apparently. He's ready, been ready for 2 years. So I've got that going on, hopefully as a breeding project soon. There I go, right back to old habits. This chair's poking me in the leg. There we go. John Larson, howdy. Getting excited about John's new fish house. Actually has a separate building on his property that has its own address and utilities and all that. And he just bought it's public because I saw it somewhere on Instagram maybe, or YouTube, or Facebook. He just bought somebody out of their hobby that was decided to downsize or go out of the hobby. So he's got a lot of new stuff coming in to add, and he already had a lot to start with. So there's Alex Aquarium. Great to see you, Alex. Hope you're doing well. Who else is in here? And guys, I put the link up there. I'm looking to see if anybody's waiting because I forget to look, like a lot of us do. And I kind of want to talk a little bit about, and I will if you guys want to talk a little bit about the fish swap that we had Saturday. It was the Chattanooga area. Yossi, let me see. Come here. Shh. What is that? I'm going to knock you out. Get up here. It's the Chattanooga Area Aquatics Society, CAAS, that actually had the event, and it was held at Aquatic Aesthetics, Rob and Tammy's store in Hickson, a suburb of Chattanooga. And there was a great turnout, and as old as I am, that's the first one I've ever been to. I've had them near me, near enough to go, but 30 minutes, 25 minutes away. Yazzie Merdul says hi. He's looking for Pam. Pam's in there. He knows it's your night, Pam, because I've been telling him all afternoon. Pam goes tonight. Pam goes tonight. So, Joys of Sorrow. Howdy. Haven't seen you in a little bit. Good to see you. Another good channel right there, guys. Anyway, I enjoyed it. Somebody remarked, I think it was Robert Ravi from Tennessee Aqua, that it was a lot like a yard sale. He had never been to one, I don't believe, and it is kind of like a yard sale. There's not so much of the bargaining as you might see at a yard sale. I mean, you might walk up to something in a yard sale that's $1 and offer 50 cents, and they'll take 75. That's kind of the way it goes. And but as it got more toward the end, of course, here's the message from Anthony. But I couldn't read all of that, so, and of course I don't want to read it publicly. He's answering me about the stream times, so get back to that later. Anyway, yeah, and Bobby said he didn't know if he could do that. He had bought some really nice plecos, and I haven't seen anything. I got a notification about that, about those plecos, so they're really, really nice. So I don't want to give anything away if he hadn't already. But Pleco Fever, howdy. Speaking of plecos, sorry guys if I miss him because I look away while I'm rambling. Larry D's, awesome channel. Used to love to try to get people to sub to Larry's because he's such a unique fish keeper. And he got there. He got to 1K and he's on past 1,100 something, I think now. So he's moving right on up. There's Anthony. Don't forget to hit that like. Anyway, it was fun. People laid their things out. There was fish and inverts and plants, lots of plants, and lots of equipment. I specifically was looking for lights, but I didn't see any used lights. I'm going to have to get me a couple of lights, one for that 75, and then I've still got the 125 in the garage that's not going to be inside anytime soon. Well, it will be before freezing weather. for sure, but I want to put it where my breakfast table is, in the middle of the kitchen and little eating area over there. And I don't know where that table will go. I never sit at it, so it doesn't matter. It just has the things I'm working on sitting on it. So I needed lights, didn't see them. There were heaters, but I'm kind of afraid of used heaters. It doesn't matter the brand. I know all of our heaters are used once we put them in our tanks, and the potential. I'm just afraid of used heaters, and I don't use them as much as I used to. I have more cold water tanks than I've ever had, or room temperature tanks. My axolotls, a lot of the barbs, the goldfish, certainly, that kind of stuff. Mainly heat stuff that angelfish, betas, rainbows, that kind of stuff. So didn't find any heaters, or didn't get any heaters. I can't have that big of a tank in the house. I have to settle for ponds outside. Hey, that works. That works. I've got my tub sitting on the back deck, but I haven't cleaned it out. Had a big rain over the weekend here. It rained all night, so I'm sure it overflowed it. It's got some daphnia from John Cox in it, and lots of leaves, so I need to shake those leaves off in there and get some of them out. It's got wood that I used to use it and still use it to sink wood, to let it soak in there. A lot of the wood that's in the tank behind me, there's a lot more stuff in there than it looks like or that we can see. But anyway, it's great for sinking things, but it's definitely a tannin laden tank, tannin tainted tank. So Steph is here. Rounded Rob. Not a big fan of heaters neither, but yeah, the older I get and the more I learn about the hobby, and yeah, I know a fair amount about the hobby, but the thing is, guys, you have to constantly keep learning and getting rid of the things that are not the best thing anymore. And I'm not talking about equipment especially, but it's an evolving science. It really is. And just like with nursing, when I went to nursing school, maybe not the best example, but I graduated in '78 in the last century, and they told us, we were taught then, like, you do have to take history, issues, and trends, I think was one of the nursing classes, and of course all the Florence Nightingale stuff and all of that stuff, the major stuff about nursing, and how the different licenses were formalized, the RN, the LPN, the Certified Nursing Assistant, all that stuff. But one of them, oh, I hope I haven't forgotten my thought. It's so embarrassing when I do it. One of the things that we were taught, and I still am amazed by that, was that in 1976, say, 50% of all of the advances made in nursing and medicine in general, had been made in the last 50 years. And that's just incredible that is that 28 to 78, something like that. 50%, half of all the advances. So I can imagine what it is now. A lot of the stuff is still been experimenting over a year now, not using heaters and ponds. Did okay until the temp dropped down to 54. Yeah, the one thing about that is I see a lot of people say, and I understand the rationale, but a lot of people say, I'm going to stock my tank when the temperatures stop dropping below 55 at night, or 50 or 60, or whatever their range is or their goal. But what we don't see in that equation is that if it's 80 during the day, especially something that's 25, 30, 50, 100 gallons, is not going to drop that much. From if it gets up to 80, it's not going to drop to 60. It may drop to 70, especially if you cover it, just partially cover it. You're going to keep a lot of that heat in, most of it. So you have to factor that in and actually check those temperatures. So it might drop to 70 or 68 from 80. It just depends on a lot of factors. Does it rain into it? Cold water? Is there wind? How much sun does it get? So I don't go strictly by that. I have to make it complicated. There's Big Tank Hank. Awesome to see you in here, Garrick. I'm so glad that we were able to help you get you to your goal and through your crisis. And Garrick's Fish Fam, if anybody in the world is, and loved by one and all. So really, really glad that the Fish Fam was here for him and that he's still with us. So prim heaters are similar to automobile battery. They should be changed out before exactly. And I was talking, Tim, to Rob at Aquatic Aesthetics. Maybe a month ago about that, and he was telling me because I spend money there, lots of frozen food and stuff, so I'm a good customer there. Not bragging, complaining more than anything that I spend. I let myself spend that much, but I got to feed the babies. That he would make me a good, like a bulk buy. We didn't get into how deep, and I told him I wasn't ready quite then to do that. But some of my heaters are maybe 3, 4, 6 months old. Like I got a couple from Sandy Dowdy. She sent me 2, and so those definitely are not ready to be changed out. One of them I've only been using maybe a month, the other 6 months, if that. So not all of mine need to be changed out. I do have heaters. I have 68 tanks, but a year ago I probably had 40 or 45 tanks. So yeah, all of those have new heaters in them, so I have to kind of inventory that. Wouldn't have to change them all out. Got way off on all of this, talking about the, Sandy said for y'all not to hit the thumbs up, forget to hit it. Geez, George. What? I missed something. Merdul's posted a bunch of links there. Thank you, Merdul. Looks like the ARC. It's the shelter, not for profit. Everybody's a volunteer. Literally the only things that doesn't go directly to the pets' care, their vet bills, their food, anything, any kind of care for the pets is their water and their electric bill. That's it. We own the property. We paid it off ourselves. A couple of us volunteers came together when it got kind of low and paid it off. So we're not even paying a mortgage. We own the property. Which was a goal we had. We bought it 11 years ago. We moved in 11 years ago last month, and we paid it off in 8 years. Yep, so we don't have any interest. We doubled up on payments, and we got it low enough we said, let's pay it off. And not out of the ARC Treasury, out of our own wallets and purses. FedEx has gotten horrible. Uh-oh, Deborah. Deborah, I'm going to send you something, and I'll go ahead and say it if I can remember what we were talking about on the stream. I'm about to mail out some tomorrow. I've already got them in envelopes, some stickers, but I wanted to hope you were on here so that I wrote down your name with 2 others, but I don't know what the heck I'm supposed to be sending you guys. I have no idea. So, try not to do that. Heaters are the worst. Don't you hate it when it jumps? I can't find where it goes back to. Thanks for the super chat. Mike did a super chat. I see it up top now for $10. Thank you, Mike. Much appreciated. Very much appreciated. And I'm going to debut a couple, 3 actually, tanks that's got some veil in it that Mike sent me. And I let it float under some good light. And then even blue light at night in that tank so that it looks just like I opened it up. It's doing great, but it is in the ground now, in the substrate. My other Mike from Florida Fish. Mike, I did go out to I know he hates to hear this, did go out to the fish tuber again and tried to get in, and I think I've given up on it. I just can't get in there. I really would like to use the resources, especially the mod chat thing, and be participating in that. But I ain't sure what else to do at this point. What else? So the fish swap, what did I bring home? I saw Susan did her Tuesday night stream on it last night, and I was in there. Something happened at the end, so she got cut off. About a third of it was cut off at the end. But she was talking about her koi angelfish that she got from Tiffany White, and I actually sat between Susan for SLC Aquatics and Tiffany White. So, I was in heaven. And then, of course, less ranking seats. There was Tennessee Aqua and Chattanooga Ed and Fisher and Fever and Sean Peck. We were all at the two tables there that Ed brought, and I brought us some of the nice folding chairs from the Ark. So we had a good time. We were comfortable. Ed brought us a bunch of sodas and stuff. But yeah, what else did people get? I said Bobby got some nice plecos. The man that brought those fish had some really nice fish, but they were priced reasonably, very reasonably. But he wasn't coming off of any because Bobby really wanted to get 4 of those. And I said, we'll see if he'll, if it was $50, well, I think they were $35. I said, see if he'll take the last 2 for $60. That's $5 off. He wouldn't do it. So there you go. There is Ness and Brandon. How to garden. Howdy, howdy. Rob 93. Rob 93. Still don't have anybody in the guest seat back there. But guys, if anybody wants to come up and talk about, you don't have to talk about the whatever I said. Trying to post the link and the position I'm in makes it difficult to post. Damn it, Bobby. All right, Yossi, we're going to have to let you drift over there a minute. And that's the bad thing about using the phone to post links. Yossi, your feet were furry. There we go. Paste. Here we go. All right, I may just leave it this way for a couple minutes and hold it like this. There it is, Ames. I posted it when we first started. You weren't here. So there it is again. Yeah, I don't know how to put it at the top. I've asked every stream, I think, and no one's shared that with me. So, or if they have, I haven't seen it. So I think you have to go back over. Yeah, maybe somebody did say you have to go back over to YouTube and do it. So. MFT. What's 93? Oh, Rob 93. Duh. Big dog. Big dog. And did I bring any fish home from the fish swap? I don't think I did. I took Bobby some Peter Thiel mock guppies, and I just did a scoop of them in net. And there were some pregnant females that probably dropped before he got home. Different size of fries and juvies, and a couple females that weren't about to drop, and a couple of males. So he'll have 300 soon. Bob, you've got click pin comment, but I can repost the link later if someone asks for it. Yeah, I was thinking mods could post it. It may just be that nobody wants to come up, and that's okay. That is okay. After I finish this up, I've got to go grab me a snack while I'm out and start trying to find gasoline. It has hit Cleveland, Tennessee. Of course, Atlanta had already hit a day or two ago. But thank you, Merdul. But yeah, and Mike's telling me again. I think a couple of you guys did tell me before, and I forget. So I forget. Imagine that. Let me flip back over here. Whoa. I thought it was going to turn us all the way over. I'm going to go get something to eat. if I'm not to lower my blood sugar at that point, I'm going to go ahead and get some gasoline. It is hard to find, and a lot of local places are out of it. So I'm kind of at a place that I don't have to go toward town and the interstate, and I can go like around town and go out into some of the more rural areas and see what's going on out that way. Kind of circle around the outskirts. Trying to get this back where I had it, but look, it doesn't really matter. Can't really see the fish. The glass in there is semi-clean, and it's been a while. I forget my name some days. Oh my God, my primary care doctor, there's so many things they want you to do when you get old. Jesus. But I'm a new diabetic like a year now. I've never had a diabetic eye exam. And somebody's back there. I'll grab them when I tell this real quick. Hang on. Anyway, the doctor's office called this morning and they said, were you able to get an appointment for a diabetic eye exam? Well, the last thing I remember is my doctor that I go to, Dr. Farber, to get my eyeglasses and rechecked every few years, said that they had to have a referral. And I'm like, but you're my doctor, and I know that my Medicare might, but my supplement through Blue Cross does not require a referral for that. So anyway, but I looked at my appointments in my phone, my reminders, and sure enough, September 1st, there's an appointment. So I called the doctor's office back and said, did you send a referral? And they said, no, they didn't ask for one. Called the doctor's office and played dumb and said, I'm calling to verify my appointment. And of course, they looked me up and said, yep, you're coming at 3:30 or whatever on the 1st of September. So I made that appointment, had no recollection. All right. Here's Ames. Let's get her in here. Yep, she didn't come in. I did something wrong. It says she's in there. There she is. Okay. Guess I was expecting it to go a lot faster than that. How are you doing? Can hear you. So I wonder if that's you or me. I don't have you muted. Now she's gone. She might be having trouble on that end, so I'll see if she comes back up. Thanks, Merdul. Merdul is fast. Almost as fast as that AI candy bot. She's a mod here, but she's working so much she hardly gets time to go to any streams. I notice now. I miss her. I still chat with her about important things occasionally, that message back and forth. But all right, here's somebody back. And it's Ames again. There. I hear you. I hear something.
Hi,
Are you muted?
am I here?
Are you muted?
I don't know. Am I muted?
No, I hear myself talking.
Hello?
I hear you fine. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yep. So, I realized today that beneficial bacteria in a bottle to cycle a tank is a hoax.
You've got something on in the background, a TV or something, or another channel playing, or
There, is that better?
don't hear
There's
it now.
nothing. Okay.
Don't hear it now. Yeah, I partially agree with that. I haven't used it to cycle a tank, but I've used it in conjunction with media from another tank and bacteria from another tank to like boost it as I'm trying to grow bacteria. The whole thing about cycling is you can't just put 10 fish in there and add your media because you'll get an ammonia spike and probably 9 will die. So you have to grow that bacteria over a period of time or keep adding bacteria through other media. You can do it that way, but it's iffy. You got to check that water every day. So, but I've used it with the salt. You know, you and I talked, and I've used it with the salt to help boost that cycle, or to push it on a little bit, or to give the fish some time, a day or two, you know, for more bacteria to grow. Some
Right. It just is not working.
some
It's
people
not
say
working at
what you're
all.
saying, that you know it's ridiculous and it doesn't work, and some people swear by it. So
It's not
that
working.
it's not working. Is it in that salt water?
Yeah.
Well,
It's I talked to people on this morning, and I've been doing 50% water changes every day. I just started a brackish tank. For anybody who doesn't know, I have now one green spotted puffer in there. I took out the rest of the fish so that the bio load wasn't going to be so much. And I mean, every day is a 50% water change, which with salt is not as fun as wait a minute, they're not fun, are they? So
yeah, it's a lot of salt mixing. You know, when you get it established and you just have to mix it every 10 days or 2 weeks or whatever you get it adjusted to, it's not such a big deal.
yeah. The ammonia is a little spiked, but the nitrates are very spiked.
Rounded
And
Rob, Tim wants to know what kind of bacteria did you use in the bottle?
he says safe start.
It sounds like Yazzie.
It's Rosa.
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 I used to work with Rosa when I worked in the building at Blue Cross, and I used to try to roll Rosa off my tongue, and I'm way out of practice.
Rosa.
There you go. I never got to that level.
But so the puffer's still doing okay. The mollies are in with their babies. I hope they don't eat them. But
Molly babies are kind of like platies and swords. They're pretty big. They're a lot bigger than guppy babies, so that helps.
yeah,
I still have some of those high fin red-tailed platies that I love so much in with the rainbows and their parents. I just never could catch the mom that was dropping them, and I've tried to catch the two other females that are squared up, and I can't catch them in there. So I have a little tank set up for babies, and I have one or two in there. I can't remember what I did catch out, but I feed them. I feed them Daphne and stuff. I see them in there, and I see them eat, so maybe some will survive. What I need to do is catch all the rainbows out and put them over with the angelfish in a 55-gallon. That's what I need to do. And that would solve it.
yeah. Good luck with that. I heard they're
Yeah.
fast.
Yeah. Well, what I'll have to do is drop it down to like an inch or two, and I'll put back in some of the water I take out, so I'm not doing a 90% water change. It's a 33 long. There's Bobby. Damn it, Bobby. And there's Chalupa, Travis.
I thought it was handsome Bobby, not damn it Bobby.
Oh, I don't know if he's handsome or not. He's always cycling his name, and I can't keep up day to day. I've been out of the loop a little bit the last couple of days with dogs being sick and losing my little dog and all that. So thought I was going to lose my Daniel, my hound. I lost Rico. I think a lot of people know. Well, I know a lot of people do because I talked about it a little bit on a 1 a.m. ramble. I was sitting here and just turned the camera on, and started rambling.
Yeah, that is so sad about you losing your puppy.
Yes. And then the next day, Daniel would get up or wake up, and I had to decide whether to leave him and go to the Ark or what. And they said, "Well, we'll cover you." And I thought, "No, what am I going to do?" You know. So I came home and checked on him. And he's a little better. He ate for me today. So they're just so old, you know.
Yeah.
I'm
How
down
old is he?
to 17, almost 18. Because when Winston had to be put down a few months ago with kidney failure, Daniel was there. They were both getting groomed, and I'm like, well, Daniel's like 15 now, so I guess he won't be far behind. They're like, no, he's 17. They've been seeing him since I got him as a puppy at 8 weeks. So.
Well, the B12 that I started giving my cat yesterday in a shot, sub right underneath her skin, has really perked her up. I mean, it's really changed a lot. She came out. She wanted to talk. She wanted to eat a lot today.
You started to say it's subcutaneous. It's just right under
Yeah.
the skin. Yep. Subcu.
Not everybody knows what subcutaneous means,
We're
but
going to teach them. We're going to teach them subcu.
it's a lifting of the backs up right behind the shoulder blades. So right between the shoulder blades and the neck. And then you insert a needle right there. And it's very easy.
You can give it anywhere, actually. I mean, that's just a preferred spot, but you can give it anywhere on the back or anywhere. It's like insulin. They suggest certain sites. Everybody at the ARC had to learn to give insulin. They had to learn to give sub-Q because we had a couple diabetic dogs they were getting their glucose tested too, had a glucometer there and everything. So they had to learn it. It's not hard. People do it on themselves all the time. So.
Wow, John's taking his doggy to the vet. And Stefan just lost his kitty. And I think a lot of us know about our fish fam Malik, Malik, who lost
Yes.
5 puppies to an incompetent vet.
That definitely was incompetence.
He's also looking for financial help if anybody could help.
Does he have a GoFundMe or PayPal?
He has it on his website, on his Facebook page. Stefan, sorry. I don't know what your name is. I never call you by your name. I just type it.
We've got awesome mods. So is it a PayPal or a GoFundMe?
I'll look it up.
And is he he's Malik's Aquatics or Malik's Aquariums or
Malik. Malik.
Malik. Somebody posted something. It was Barbara. What did you just post, Bobby? Chewy. Chewy likes to post links, but you don't have no clue what they are.
It's on Facebook Pay, actually. I don't know who's on Facebook. And I don't know how to.
Oh, that's my channel, it looks like, Bobby. Bobbert. Ian. Howdy, howdy. Yeah, and there he is, Jeff. Holly, welcome. Says we have 51 people in here. That's pretty amazing. Unless I have a Chattanooga Ed or somebody like that with me, that's pretty awesome. People will be really bored today, it looks like.
So did they post Malik's no. Sorry to hear about that bottom dweller. He lost a longfin blue lemon-eyed pleco today.
So what does yeah, there it is. Merdul got it. I knew he was.
Yes.
Thank you, Merdul. Yeah, he's got a really, really big vet bill, which he shouldn't have because the vet basically let that dog's puppies die. He gave her Pitocin or something to stimulate contractions, then didn't monitor that. You always monitor the fetal heart tones, especially on an adult, on a human adult. But you always monitor those because the baby gets in trouble sometimes. They get the Pitocin on board. It does cross the placental barrier. And apparently that's what happened. So they probably had little heart attacks. So sad. So sad. Incompetence. Even I know
it totally
that.
is.
I'm not a vet tech or anything. I know that, People. Yeah, it's awful. Awful, awful.
And then he claimed that because he didn't have the staff, he wouldn't do the C-section, but he
Right.
didn't even try to call his staff. So,
Yep. He had to take her then to an emergency clinic, and I wondered if that owns a portion of that. The clinics are owned by usually the local vets, and they set them up so they don't get calls, which is smart. You know, they close or on weekends. That's why it's an emergency clinic. My vet, my dog's and the vet that's at the over the arc, or my boss at the arc, he owns 51%, I think, of our local emergency clinic. Um, so that's the way they do it, and I bet he owned that and he wanted you to go there from the get go.
it's just terrible. And he trusted him.
Yeah, people suck. I say that all the time, almost every day. They suck. Rounded Rod said, "You the man, Bob." I don't know what he's talking about, but I'll take it. My
Bye, Ian.
my dog, my girl's dog, just got neutered, and she was so upset because she thought they got snipped and not the whole testicles removed. Oh, yeah, Jeffrey, they take them. Sometimes they do leave them. They did for a while leave them. I saw that through the arc and through my pets. I think it's gone back to removing all of it. I thought
Yeah,
you were going to say, you said neutered though, but you know, a lot of times, especially the little bitty dogs and cats, not a lot, but enough, maybe one or five in 100. I don't know. It happens. It's not rare. They don't get all of the ovarian tissue because of the size of the critter they're working on, the baby they're working on, and it still causes them to cycle, to go in heat and all that. They can't
right.
get pregnant because they don't have a uterus. But guys, I know my OBGYN, I had to take it twice in nursing school because I goofed off thinking I'll never need this. And they're like, yeah, you do. Got to take it again.
Oh, Xanadu, I'm sorry about your Great Dane.
What
Seems to
happened?
be that a lot of pets are dying right now, and I think every day is such a blessing when we have them. Hopefully, I'll have my cat a lot longer.
Yeah, I've got one cat that's very old, and she's doing great lately. Doesn't show her age, but I got her back. A lady adopted her as a kitten, and I fostered her. She was actually born in my garage. A Christmas kitten, and they were all named stuff like Glitter and Holly and whatever, you know, Christmas names. And anyway, she changed her name to Polly, but the family contacted me per the contract and, you know, said, Mom's going in assisted living and she can't take care of the cat and they don't let them have them there and we're allergic or whatever. So, yeah, I got her back. I didn't even let her go back to the ark, but she was in pretty rough shape. She hadn't been uh, not through neglect, but just because the mother really couldn't take care of her. But got her all tuned up, and she's doing great now. So she's 13, I guess. So, and my other two are varmints, my young cats.
Yeah, this morning, Chewy was saying that I should lower my salinity, Bob, to 1.125 instead of 1.25. But you had said to keep it up that high, so I keep it
One
up that
point
high.
to lower it to what?
1.125. Is that right, Daniel?
I have to look at my hydrometer especially since I had the second little stroke. I just can't do numbers at all. And like the date thing, making that appointment, stuff like that, I'm just out there. So
Hi,
I'm doing that.
Chalupa.
So she,
Uh, it's it's because it's a brackish tank, I think is the question.
let me get my hydrometer. I have to look at our notes too to see what we talked about. I'll be right back. Keep the troops entertained.
Okay, ready? Let's see. Right. I've had a lot of people over here today. My friend dropped off some baba ganoush handmade. It was like a big surprise. It was so good. And I had just gotten done with the saltwater 50% change again, and I was hungry, and it was just a great thing that happened. Tell a joke. Hmm. I don't know any clean jokes. Uh, I don't know any jokes that don't have blondes in them because my dad loves to tell blonde jokes. Uh, I could say, what did the blank person get thrown out of the M&M factory for? He was throwing away the W's.
The W's.
M&M.
Oh, duh. That was me that got thrown out. Yeah, see what they're saying. I'm looking at it here now. Um, since it's fractionated, it is 1.0125, except we don't have a 5 on there. It's just well on the spectrum on the hydrometer it is, but I'm not using that. And like I told Ames, I got one and I used it twice and calibrated it twice and used it, and then I realized that for what I was keeping, I didn't need to use that I could use the manual. And so I have two manuals and I compare them like when I'm mixing salt, and they are a tiny bit different. And this is the one that's cracked. It's the one that I feel is the most accurate. It's cracked on the bottom there. So that's how I know for sure. But I did use the other one to validate this one. So yeah, I don't know if I can
So
do
I use that refractometer.
right
So what should it say in there?
for brackish or salt.
Brackish.
It's what they're saying, but it doesn't. I don't know if the refractometer thing has the 5 at the end of it. It's 1.025. No, 1.012, and I don't know if it's 5 on the end. That gets a little bit confusing for me at least, because on the
Alexa,
salt, see
turn on the light.
the salt is right there. It's the 1.025. So hands be looking brown. They're not. They're pale. Anyway.
So I keep it at 10. Let's see, 1.020. Is that good?
It's a little bit low. It should be at 1.0. Say it one more time. See, it's even hard for me to hear numbers.
Yeah, I put it in the chat. It's hard for me to hear numbers too.
1.020. It should be for brackets. It should be 1.012. So
One.
you've got it halfway between brackish and halfway between salt. It's a little more salty than it should be, I guess.
So in here I could do it 1.015. Would that be right? Or 1. So should I do it 1.01? Oh my God, I'm so
25.
confused.
Yeah, it gets confusing. That's one of the reasons it's not rocket science. But since I have so much trouble with numbers, I can't even hardly write a check without looking like 6 times back and forth and writing each number. That's how bad it is. I don't keep brackish. I just decided I couldn't do it anymore. And anything I had that I couldn't convert on up to full salt and put it in the salt, I took it back or gave it away or something. Just too much. It's just too much of a challenge with my disabled mind right now. It said he's been working on his saltwater tank outside. Awesome. Yeah.
Oh my
And you know,
One.
quit. You know he'll get you. Yazzie comes on strong to Tibby, and then Tibby whips him when they get out of the room. He lures him out.
So as you see the chat, Bob, they're saying that I should go up 5 degrees, I think.
It is for me, Rob. It's not harder, but it adds another. No, I'm saying, see that what I'm saying has been taken out of context. It's too hard for me since I've had 2 strokes for me to differentiate, and I get confused with the numbers. I have trouble writing a check, just writing numbers on a check. So I try to do everything electronically. No, brackish is not harder than salt, but it's hell for me because I can barely do my salt. The numbers. Just look at a scale to read numbers is real hard. They don't register. They register wrong. There you go. Yeah, I don't want to scare anybody off or anything. So, and I mumble and rumble around, so it's hard to get my point sometimes. So I'm glad you asked me that to clarify. Cup of salt for 5 gallons of water will come out, and that is true what Skull said. But I found out, Skull, and I had a couple people verify this. If if your salt, you've been keeping it like in a humid place, but you shouldn't, and it becomes compacted or condensed, may not be the best word, but you have more salt. If it's not loose, and not able to be poured, it's very much compacted, and so it will be a higher salinity. I found that out the hard way. I don't know if anybody else has had experience with that, but I actually went on one of the, who was it? The guy in Canada. That narrows it down, doesn't it, to about 1,000 people. Talked about it. Yazzie, please. Cats are going to get you. Oh, I heard the hound bark. That's the first time in 2 days. Mississippi hippie. Eddie, you want to come up a minute and talk about the fish swap? I've got a link, or the mods will put a link in the chat, just as what you thought about it and what you got or anything. We only have a few minutes, but I had said that at the start, so you may not have been in here. If you don't, that's fine. I won't speak to you again, but no, it'll be fine. Lucky Stone used to keep brackish about 20 years. I did great until I asked for advice. There you go. Yeah, when I first started, I had actually 10 people that I was getting advice from, and only 2 of them ever agreed. So I had to pick one person and stick with that, and I've done okay with it. So Jesse, no, it's not Jesse, but that's a good guess. He's not on as much anymore. One of the last things I saw him do was go and getting some critters out of his local water there. He lives on the coast and doing a natural tank of salt. Yeah, it's not Joey. I can't remember his channel. It doesn't matter. But anyway, I was on there one day and said, brought this point up, and people said that. But that's a good research thing, Skull. Or you may already know the answer, or may not have had that situation. But that's one of the reasons people that knew that had kept salt for a while, or purported to know, said yes, if you let it get wet or moist and it compacts, which makes it's denser. That's the word I want. It's denser. That it will have more salt or more salinity in it than a cup that's not condensed. But it becomes like rocks, so it's really hard. Anyway, don't let your salt get moist. I had to thin that down a couple times. To get it to a safe range. Spirits issue would be fine at 1.015. Yeah, just remember once you get to that level, when you do water top offs, to use fresh water so your gravity goes up. Yeah. I was showing, I think it was Sarah one day, I was showing him how my salinity had gone up with just like a 1/2 inch of evaporation in the different tanks, and I was topping them off. That's not my routine. I do that in between water changes, but I can get by with one top off between water changes at 10 days. So, and all I was doing was just putting prime, in fresh water, close to the same temp. Some people really get that temp exactly the same, but it rains in the ocean too. And rivers run into the ocean, so they can tolerate a couple degrees either way.
So what's this thing called?
Hydrometer.
Okay. So the hydrometer should read.
Yeah, Chewy's from Canada, but he hasn't kept salt water. No, it's a guy everybody knows. He's just not right up our face all the time in the fish fam. He keeps.
Is it the DIY guy?
No, it's not Joey. No, it's an older guy, not as old as me. He does salt and fresh. He has a little dog. Dog's not on there much. Yeah, Sandy is everyone's favorite Canadian. She's just the wrong sex to fit our description. She's the right sex for her. I better shut up. I'm going further down.
Thank you, Daniel. I think everybody calls it a hydrometer
Yeah, it is a
or
refractometer.
refractometer.
Yeah,
Okay.
but because you're using the light to refract it. Yeah, Daniel knows. Mine is still, I used it twice and it's brand new back in the box. Tried to come up Bob, but it was real choppy. I don't know why. Huh.
Yeah, Deborah, I bake all the time. And if you don't do exactly what they say, and then do you fluff the flour with a fork or do you sift it? And if you fluff it with a fork, do you pack it down or do you just let it fluffy up in the cup?
Deborah, did you say, and I missed it, what I'm supposed to be shipping you? I can go back and see the chat tomorrow. It's the next day. It'll let you see it. Not like urgent. Here's somebody. I thought I had banned them, but I guess I didn't. I thought I banned you, Bobby.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Mob Guppy's.
Yeah,
Right it down.
it's still choppy for some reason. We try to.
Yeah, I didn't hear choppy till you came on, Bobby. So I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, there are some streams, that I don't have any trouble with, and there's sometimes I do. It's just a hit and miss sometimes, I guess.
It's a little choppy.
Is it? Yeah. Were you hearing it before when there were just the two of us? Okay.
But it's just tiny bit. I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you all think in the chat? How's it hearing?
It seems like the more people I have on, like I noticed it quite a bit Sunday night with Scott and Liz. And there were like 6 of us on or something. You can use it to make booze, the fish refractometer, or the salt, or both. Merdul put a.
Yeah, I mean,
Merdul gave you a new link, or maybe that's one you used already.
yeah. Thank you. Sure. Yeah, I mean, see, I wasn't in, like at the first of the stream, and then I came in and I heard y'all, was talking about salt, and I didn't know, like if y'all was talking about salt or what was going on. So, that's why I didn't come up.
We were just talking about salt with tequila and using the refractometer to find out how much tequila to use.
Right. Not anything related to fish. You said the first stream. This is the only one.
no, okay, so like, so I was not in here when the stream started
At first, gotcha.
because I've been having issues with not getting notified when streams come on, and so like now I've been having to go back and like re-hit the bell. I mean, stuff. So
I need to
Yeah,
do. Rob 93 is about to go live, guys. Do y'all want a hashtag to go over there?
um,
Because mine probably wouldn't be appropriate. You know, those people that have had strokes, they do anything, apparently.
do a hashtag salt life, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, that'll be good.
or brackish, because that's
Hey, keep
confusing.
going.
Yeah, there you
Hashtag
go.
decimals. How about that?
That'll confuse everybody there, won't it? I wasn't notified for the stream. I think what happens, Bobby and Deborah, and I noticed it recently, is like if you look to see if you're subscribed to somebody, say a name in a chat, you're looking at comments and you click on a name, and it always, almost always, 99 of 100 times will say subscribe. It says you're not subscribed, but if you click on the name and open it up, you really are subscribed. So if you click it where it says subscribe, you've unsubscribed yourself. I think that's what's going on a lot. I had to go all the way in the channel because I think people are unsubscribing themselves, thinking they're subscribing. Pam, you're going to stream too?
Yeah, and I have noticed that like there was a couple people, you know, that although I hit the bell, I didn't hit the one that said off on it. You know what I mean? Because you can hit the bell, but you got either, you know what I mean? Hit
Yeah, got to hit all
one
of
at the
them
top.
for sure. And I have forgot to hit the bell before, so that happens to me at least sometimes. All right, Rob just went live, so we're going to do hashtag Salt Life, and I'll see you guys over there. Thank you guys for coming up. Thanks for the super chats. Thank you, mods, and thank you, members. And thank you, everybody, for being here. It means a lot. Appreciate y'all. See you over at Rob's. Bye.